Thank you guys for staying so late. You know, really proud of the guys' response, especially after, our last game. You know, it was a tough 48 hours with some physical work. Mentally, it was tough. UNLV's a really hot team, won 4 or 5, and our guys came out and played with just a lot of intensity from the very beginning. And as a coach, I'm just really proud of their response from the last game to the last 48 hours to then their approach coming into this one.
You could see the sense of urgency, especially the first few minutes, 12-0 lead. And was it defensive end, offense, everything?
Yeah, thank the Lord they missed some around the rim. Nana got us off to an unbelievable start. Those 2 threes, his 2-pointer. I mean, he had 8 points to start the game. And I thought FA and Nana really did a good job solidifying the paint early. At UNLV, their bigs were more physical than us and took us out of a lot. I thought our bigs really took it as a challenge to be able to, post up, be able to finish, be able to rebound. And our rebounding was substantially better. Obviously, we talked about after our last game being out-rebounded. And for us to come in and be the out-rebound a team that big by 14, it was a great compliment to our guys for being aggressive on the glass.
Yeah, Dennis had a couple nice really blocks, in there, that 1-2-handed right at the rim.
Yeah, that was sensational, on the dunk attempt that he got. And, he has the ability to change a game with his rim protection, and I thought he did that today. He gave our defense a lot more confidence, contested some shots, and I thought his 11 minutes were really important for us.
You talk about those 3, Dennis, FA, Nana, they all kind of do it different ways, it feels like, defensively, but when it's all humming, it feels like it's just, you guys got everything going.
Yeah, it's when Dennis is blocking some shots and FA's being real physical, rebounding, finishing around the rim, and Nan's making some threes, like you said, they complement each other really well. And, this was a game where physicality and length was needed. So, Dennis and FA, especially in the middle, their length was needed with how UNLV would attack the rim and just all the length that they have around the rim.
I know early in the season you guys had some problems getting back in transition. It felt like almost every possession they were trying that kind of like half push. And you guys answered outside of that missed layup at the end. But can you talk about just kind of the focus needed to get back every single time and not let them get a sneak one?
Yeah, changing ends is such a vital part of the game, especially late in the year. And, we had good segments I thought we really changed on offense and got down fast. And then there were a couple slippages, like you said, where we didn't get back as fast as we could and communicate. But, this time of year, all those points are so important, getting back and talking in transition. And obviously, we keyed a lot on, probably didn't look like it, but we keyed a lot on, 0. Even though he had 30, we tried to put as many bodies around him as we could.
Coach, can you talk about Evan? Only had 4 minutes, but on number 0, he really looked. He put him on an island there for those 4 minutes.
He was really good. I don't think he got scored on in that 4 minutes, and he got through screens. He's an elite on ball defender, and he showed that without fouling for his minutes tonight.
Can you bottle this for Utah State now? Is that important to kind of get that big start again?
Yeah, obviously going on the road is a whole different challenge in itself, and they're leading the conference and they're sensational anywhere, and at home, even better. And so, we're definitely going to enjoy this. This was it's a lot of work tonight, but we do have a quick turnaround. They have a quick turnaround, and we'll try to get ready for Saturday.
You talk about Brian's impact. I know he had the turnover, but he comes down and takes the charge. He just seems to really be doing some of those veteran things here down the stretch.
Yeah, Brian was great tonight. He was so good in that middle stretch when we played San Diego State, Utah State. Hurt his hamstring. It's kind of been, showing some glimpses. And tonight I thought this was one of his best games, probably in the last month. He had a confidence to him. He had a leadership to him tonight. And he had a really good pace. He made good decisions when to attack the rim, when to pass. And, we're definitely a different team when he plays like he did tonight.
Yeah, you guys are 7 of 15 from 3. Can you just talk about, when you guys make threes, it feels like you guys are really dangerous. Just talk about the impact that had on the game.
Yeah, last game, we were facing 3-4 players just packing the paint. Some guys were turning down threes. And we talked about that last, you can't turn down open threes. Guys shot with confidence. Obviously Jaden making them is huge because then they have to close out, which opens a lane for him. And then when Nana, can make shots, it allows, his man has to come out and he can't sit in the lane either. So 7 for 15, really helped open the lane for us.
Is there anything that stuck out from that first Utah State game that you kind of know right away, like things maybe you need to improve? I know you guys got the win, but is there anything that you can kind of recall going into Saturday you're really keying in on?
I mean, it seems we've had so many games in between. So much has happened. I'll definitely have to go back and look at it again. Again, when you're in a top 6 league, every team is such a handful to prepare for. And obviously we've been locked in on team to team, so we'll dive deep into that now.
I think that was Dennis's breakout game where blocked a shot. Yeah, it was 5-6 blocks.
He was really good. He was really good. Yes.
Yeah. Because they got good bigs. Is that their?
Yeah, I mean they're good at every position. Yeah, they got a lot of guys, guards that make shots.
Really good.
Bigs can get to the rim, so all hands are going to be needed for sure.
Yeah. Final question: could you just talk about kind of the great opportunity ahead of you guys? It's going to be a raucous crowd. National TV, really good team. Can you just talk about kind of how excited you are to kind of have that opportunity?
Yeah, I think the branding, being in the league has been great for us. That's something as you look to some other programs, they've gotten branded on TV for years. This is really the first year we're getting branded on TV. Like today was the first CBS sports game at GCU during the regular season ever. And so, the people that got on that or the highlights, and then the game Saturday, again, it's just awesome for, I think, for the brand of our school, but it also helps our basketball brand. So hopefully the more we go out and recruit, people have already heard of us or know. And so, again, a lot of schools have head start on their branding. It's nice that we're getting branded, nationally now with all these games.
Not trying to look too far ahead, but obviously you're talking about national branding. You got a lot. Utah State's leaving, San Diego State's leaving. Any inklings, conversations, anything like that, home and homes, anything like that you're looking for?
I mean, we're definitely working on scheduling, with that, and there's a lot of good teams, obviously, that are leaving, and so I'm sure we'll connect and at least have conversations.
Thanks, Coach.
Good,
Thank you, guys.